Okay, let's go over the distance formula. This is needed for lines that are at an angle. If a line is perfectly horizontal and we had it, say, start at the 1 and go to the 6, we can figure out how many units that is. We can count. So it'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 units. Or we can take 6, our ending unit, minus our beginning unit, and we'll see that it's 5 units. What we're going to talk about now is for lines that are at an angle. Our distance becomes a little different. It's actually a derivative of making it a triangle. So our distance, here's our line, and first we're going to label these x1, y1, and x2, y2. We're doing this to start with just so that I can get you the formula so that you can understand the formula. We'll put numbers in with it in a minute. But our distance formula is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Now the reason why we have to square each of these and then take the square root is if we're dealing with negative numbers. We know that if we square a negative number, it becomes positive. That's why we go through this formula. So now knowing this, let's go put in some numbers for our values here. So let's start with 2 and 4, and let's go up to 6 and 12. Okay, so we know x is always first, so let's plug it right into our formula. So distance is going to equal the square root. X2 is 6 minus x1 is 2. We'll square it. Plus, our value for y2 is 12 minus 4, and we're going to square that. So 6 minus, make sure you bring it down each time. Don't skip any steps. 6 minus 2 is 4 squared plus 12 minus 4, so that's 8 squared. So what we're going to have is the square root of 16 plus 64. This will give us the square root of 80. Now, if you remember before, whenever we have a square root and it's not a prime number, we always have to check with the factor tree to make sure we are in lowest terms. So we're going to take 80, make our factor tree, pick easy numbers to work with. So now we know the square root of 80 is actually equal to the square root, and we're going to remember, put these in groups of 2 because squares and square roots cancel out. So I've got 2 squared times 2 squared times 5. So I move my square and square root out. My first one comes on the outside is a 2. The second 2 comes out. Our remainder that's left is root 5. So the distance of that line segment is 4 root 5.